Hello, Matt Davis here with more homework quiz help. This one is for section 6.2. For the standard normal curve, use technology to find the two z-scores that trap an area of 0.9150 between them, with equal areas remaining on the outside of them. Only enter the positive z-score below and round your answer to 3 decimal places. So first of all, in the interest of giving help but not answers, we're going to change this number right here, and we're going to work with an area of 0.7150 in the middle. So the first thing to do is to draw a quick sketch. It doesn't need to be perfect, just roughly bell-shaped curve. Below the peak, put a 0 since this is the standard normal curve. And then we want a middle area of 0.7150. So if it was 0.6826, that would be out 1 standard deviation. This should be a little wider than that. So this should be negative 1 point something, and the other side would be equal but opposite. So positive 1 point something. So we have this area of 0.7150 in the middle. And that's not the area we're going to enter into the calculator. We need to enter an area to the left into our calculator. So we need to do a little bit of math to think about what the outsides are. So we take the total area under the curve of 1, we subtract that 0.7150, and that gives 0.2850. Then we take that 0.2850 and we divide that in 2 because we need half of that area to go over here on the left and the other half to go over here on the right. So dividing that by 2, we get 0.1425. So this area right here is 0.125. Oops, 1425. And the area on the other side is the same, 0.1425. And again, because of those equal outside areas, we're going to get equal and opposite z-scores right there. So once we find one, we'll know the other. So when you know area and you're trying to find a z-score, you want to use the inverse normal. And inverse normal wants the area to the left of the z. So I'm going to start off by finding this z on the left-hand side because we know the area to the left of the negative z is this 0.1425 right there. So negative z is inverse normal of the area to its left, which is 0.1425. And again, just a guess is nice because that way if you make a mistake, you might notice. So if the area in the middle was 0.6826, by the empirical rule, the z-scores would be negative 1 and 1. The area is a little bigger, so we'll be out a little wider. So I expect something a little past 1 on each side. So negative 1 point something is what I'm expecting. So let's go to the calculator and see what we get. So we want to go to the distribution menu, which is above the variables key. So we hit the second key first, and then distribution. Inverse normal is number 3 here. The area to the left is 0.1425. So I enter that in. I get negative 1.069, which feels good because I thought I'd get something a little past negative 1. And the digit past the 9 is a 1, so we'll stick with the 9. So going back over here, we get negative z is approximately, rounding to 3 decimal places, negative 1.069. So the good news is we're basically almost there, but the remaining issue is they only want us to enter the positive z value, and we just found the negative one. But remember, these are equal but opposite. So if we know the negative z-score, then the positive one is just the opposite of that. So z would be approximately 1.069. And then that's the value we would enter into the box up here for active learning. So 1.069 is our end answer for that. All right, so then thinking about places where this can go wrong, one of the main things I see students do on tests or quizzes, stuff like that, is they calculate this area and they put it into inverse normal and they forget to do this division by 2. So you need to use your graph, label all 3 of the sections of the area so that you're labeling left, right, middle, and then make sure those 3 areas right here, right here, right here, make sure those add up to 1. If you're doing that, you're not going to miss anything. So that's a good check, but this is a common thing that people forget to do right there, is that division by 2. So be watching out for that. Then this is a working backwards question because they give us areas and want us to find z-scores. So make sure that you're using inverse normal rather than normal CDF. And then just in terms of directions, make sure you're putting 3 decimal places. Make sure you're doing the positive z-score, even though we're going to find the -1 first. They asked for the positive one, so just make sure you're doing that. All right, I hope those things helped you catch your mistake and that you can go back to the quiz and get it right. Good luck as you do.